Мистер Стефано, здравствуйте.
Hello.
Расскажите, пожалуйста, какие сейчас инновации есть в сфере образования в мире?
Okay. We observe an exponential integration of artificial intelligence, robotization, digitalization, automation at work. And operations, production lines, business models are changing. This has a strong impact on education. It has an impact on a learning space, how we conceive the classroom. The classroom will be reshaped, most probably being still a physical space, but with augmented and virtual reality included, which gives already a big change, because if we introduce an artificial intelligence in the classroom, we may expect that trainers, teachers, as well as learners will know immediately what's going on in the learning process. They will see if they are good, if they are progressing, and they will immediately see if something is not going very well. We call this learning analytics. And these learning analytics may help both teachers and learners to identify solutions to problems, to adapt in a customized way the learning process according to individual characteristics, because each of us learn in a different way. Another dimension for the transformation is very much concerned with the role of the teachers. The teachers of tomorrow will need to have different skills and competencies. We are used to think about the teacher, about someone who manages teaching process. Instead, having artificial intelligence also in the classroom, the teacher is more managing a learning process. Not very much teaching, but learning together with the learners, implementing a learning process together. The machine learning, what we call machine learning, teaching a computer to acquire information and use this information to build new approaches, it's a learning process itself, and the teachers might be required to help this process together with the learners.
А вы можете привести пример инноваций в образовании?
Please, can you tell me about any examples of the digitalization of education in our world? Yes.
One tool that we are developing in Europe is a self-assessment questionnaire, which can be answered by managers, school leaders, teachers, as well as learners. It's called Selfie, and it gives you a picture, a selfie, about the school culture, the infrastructure, the ability of teachers to use new technologies in education. And the focus is not on the technology, because the technology changes very fast. The focus on the learning process, how the learning process is changing and how teachers are able to use new technologies to implement effective learning. And this selfie tool gives a picture about strengths and weaknesses, as well as opportunities to introduce new technologies into education.
В России такого нет.
Do we have such a tool in Russia?
Yes, you do.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
it is translated in Russian. It has been already tested in about 50 schools in Russia, and there are some experts ready for being contacted by Russian colleagues who wish to try out this tool. What I like about this tool is not only providing a static picture. The idea is, when you have this report, you have a discussion in the school between the teachers, with the school managers, and with the learners. Because in digital education, innovation do not only come from top, can come also from the bottom. Because our learners know very well new technologies and they can contribute to the change. So the report can be used to make an action plan to decide, okay, this is our status quo, this is where we are now, and this is where we want to go, okay, and these are the steps to go there.
А в каких школах российских это есть? Вы можете назвать города?
Do you know exact cities and schools where these tools, special tool, selfie tool, is being used?
In Russia?
In Russia.
Yes, it's all documented, and I can send you all the contact details of the experts. One is from UNESCO agency, and another one is an individual expert. And I asked their permission to share this information. So any teacher, or any school leader who is interested, they can approach them and they can implement the selfie tool in Russian.
Расследование по этому всему, как все это происходит в России, окей.
Скажите, пожалуйста, диджитализация это дорого? Это как бы повышает стоимость обучения?
Will you please tell me, is digitalization expensive? Approximately, like.
Well, indeed, investment in infrastructure is considerable. But I would like to use a joke. If education is expensive, think the cost of no education. If you don't educate, if you don't train, the cost, the individual cost, the cost for the society is much bigger. We are all confronted in a global scale competition. This is the theme of the Edu Russia. The speech of the president of Tatarstan this morning was about investing in education, and we fully agree in this. I also appreciated the contribution from the Deputy Minister of Education, who was saying that in Russia the strategy is to delegate and empower regions to take initiatives, to manage investments, and this is very much in line with our way of thinking. We are looking at smart specialization. So at local, regional level, you have a certain industries, certain economic sectors, and education needs to understand what are the values, the key competencies of the region, and invest in order to empower and foster those economic sectors.
Вы приехали на этот форум из Италии. Скажите, пожалуйста, какие проблемы планируете здесь решить?
You came from Italy, and what problems are you going to solve in this region, or do you have any advices to ours?
Well, in Italy, there has been some interesting experiences. First of all, this selfie tool I was telling you about has been tested all over Europe, but mainly in Italy. Let's say Italy is the champion of the selfie tool. And we are currently using it to accompany schools to go digital. Another interesting aspect and experience in Italy is the reform of the training of teachers. So when we talk about new technologies and digitalization in school, many teachers are afraid because they feel they lose their role. And so this reform of the teaching, of the training for teachers, have introduced digital technologies to train them so that the new generation of teachers are familiar with digital tools, and so they are better placed to use them in their teaching activities with their learners.
То есть вы хотите обменяться здесь опытом?
So we just want to exchange experience here.
Well, I'm here also. I have another hat, and I'm vice president of European Association of Training Providers. called EFET. We have 1,500 members across Europe in 23 countries. And my wish for coming here is to serve as a platform for cooperation between European vet providers and Russian vet providers. So my wish is to come back here in a few months for the World Skills Competition, get to know more and more educational providers, and help them to cooperate with European colleagues.
Спасибо большое за интересное интервью.
Thank you so much for your interview. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.